so proudly we hail, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, Satan's that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave for the land under the fray, and the home of the brave.
Oh, well, hello there, and welcome to Country Time here on Country 3D. Hello, everybody. I am filling in for Walter this evening, and I guess he had things come up and decided that he couldn't do the stream tonight, and it was all put on me at the last minute. So I'm here to hang out with you guys tonight. I hope that's okay. It looks like we got John Mack, Brian Vines, Robert Reynolds, Alan Moritz, and I'm sure we'll get some more popping in here pretty soon. Walter asked me what I wanted the title of the stream to be, and I didn't really know, so I said that we would just do some general chatting tonight. He has informed me that he will not be joining the stream at all, not even in the chat. He likely won't even be watching it, so we get to talk bad about him if we want to. So what is happening, everybody? Thanks for being here. I don't really have any specific topics. I know that I don't get to talk to you guys very often. It's generally only been what, 2 days, so. John Mack, I probably could have done that. I probably could have done a StreamYard and let everybody come in, but because of it, he called me a few hours ago and asked me if I wanted to do this for him, and unfortunately with work right now I'm absolutely slammed, so I didn't have a lot of time to prepare. But the way that we did it this time was he just gave me his streaming key, and I just put that into my OBS, and I'm streaming out through the streaming key, so I have no control over his channel at all. It's a good thing I'm a moderator, or things could get really off the rails pretty fast. Brian Vines' Xander's channel is he's doing pretty good. He's hanging in at I think 157 subscribers right now. I thought I had it pulled up, but I do not. He's been doing some streams. He did a 2-hour stream on Sunday night after our stream, after the Fun in the Country Basement stream. So, yes, Brian, it is a good idea, and I would like to have made it happen, but I didn't think about it ahead of time, and I can't. Being I have no control over Walter's channel, I can't. If I stop this stream, then we're done. So we definitely don't want to do that. So 3D Jimmy has joined us. Dwayne S has joined us. Minnesota Maker is here. Chris Gulata is popping in. So I didn't even have time to find my Walter beard and put on my Walter beard. And, you know, so then I thought what I would do was I was going to, because, you know, Walter's got that 4-hour long intro that he plays in the beginning there. So I was going to let that play, and then I was just going to not even be on camera and let it start being here as a static image, and then I would have popped in. But yeah, I guess I've lost my creativity. It was fun. I was looking it up. It was a year or so ago. It was August 7th. So a year ago tomorrow that I did this for Walter the last time, and it was for the same reasons. He had an obligation to go to, so it feels like forever ago, but it's only been a year. So 3D Jimmy, yeah, she's actually doing quite well. We do go back to the hospital to the doctor on Friday so they can take the stent out, which she's quite nervous about, and I would be too, because they have to go up the plumbing to get that. So, but we'll see. I don't know how big of a stint it is, but it's been in there this whole time, and they have to wait 2 weeks to take it out. So what else is happening? What's happening? What's 3D Gusner? No, I really wish I had my Walter beard. I don't know whatever happened to that Walter beard. Xander had it for a while, and then it just kind of disappeared. But so what's happening in the community that well, let's start with anything that's happening in the community that people are excited about right now. And so my workload has been a little heavier, and I haven't been able to pop over to the Twitters as often, but yeah, you just see 3D Gusner, you just need to move to the East Coast here in the US, and then you'll be in the right time zone. So you're excited that you're still here. Brian Vine says he's seen something about a best benchy competition for IRF, 2 categories, 60 minutes and under, and 30 minutes and under. That's interesting. But now, weren't they talking about doing that that best benchy competition like live, like printing it right there at the show? Big Steve wants to know if Thingiverse is Fabard. I was just on it a couple of days ago. It's pulled up fine for me. In fact, it pulled up really amazingly fast, like faster than I think I've ever seen it pull up. But I think Thingiverse has been Fubar for a long time. I'm going to move my chat window over in front of me like this, so I'm not looking away from you guys. At least this way I can make it look like I'm looking at you while I'm reading the chat. So Thingiverse is dicey right now. Brian Vine said maybe, but there's probably more info, but that's what was taken away from the tweet. "3D Custner, Glenn hijacked Walter's channel. Maybe he gets no more subs." Well, the funny thing is if my channel gets any subs, it'll pop up on the screen. But if Walter's channel gets subs, then it won't pop up on my screen. So, but you know, maybe we can get Walter over that. Of course, nobody knows about this but Walter's followers, because it's on Walter's channel. I'm sure the 19 people that are watching right now are normally subscribed, or you know, already subscribed to Walter anyway. But Big C said, "I'm finding stuff, but I can't download." All right, well, let's see. I'm gonna randomly pick something here. Apparently, they have a whole collection of Flexi stuff. So I'm going to click on this Flexi Cat. Now, Big Steve, when you go to download from Thingiverse, do you go into the thing files and download just the STL? Not that I don't know if this will make a difference. Or do you take like the whole package? Do you just like tell it, I want to download all files? And have you tried both? So I'm going to go into the thing files first because that's usually where I go. That way I don't have to get all the junk that goes with it. And downloaded no problem. So let's download all files and also downloaded no problem. So I don't know. I mean, it could be a geographical thing. Maybe there's an issue with a backbone somewhere. So new idea, put chat on a teleprompter. Well, I've actually been looking at building a teleprompter for other reasons, so that would actually be kind of cool to have it like right here in front of me. But I have monitors on either side here, and then I have a monitor below the camera here. You know, you guys know that I like to give you the background stuff, and of course now I can't see what you guys are looking at. So. Ooh, there's Inception. So there's my blurry camera, and that's the monitor that I have down below. Sorry about that. I need to now remove Walter's intro so that you guys don't have to see that anymore. 3 Jimmy said, Glenn, are you going to finish Walter's Stargate? It's so funny, the conversation that I had with Walter when he asked me to do this stream today. I said, oh, let me see if I've got some cardboard, and I'm going to cut out a Stargate and glue it together really fast, so at least mine's finished. So Shane from Prusa Research. Wait, Glenn, if you are doing country time, you need to have a printer randomly break down, try to fix it, and start cursing. Well, that's not going to happen, but I don't mean the 3D printer breaking down, but no. The language isn't going to happen, so. Yeah, I don't know. I'll try a couple different things. Not that I have anything to do with it or could fix it, but it does seem to be. Thingiverse seems to be running really fast for me, which is weird. So, yeah, Shane, did you get some sleep and finish building the MK3? And does it work? Brian Vine said he gets the whole package because it gets me the attribution info, and I tend to put that in my video descriptions when I use the models. I just always attribute regardless of what they want. Chris Gulata, I do not have a broken or an unfinished Stargate laying around. Well, I guess technically I do. I have one that's never been started. Brian, what do you use? What do you use for your screen for the teleprompter? What are you generating the screen off of? I've looked into a program for the tablet called Parrot teleprompter, and that looks pretty promising. I've got a 10-inch tablet that I think would work really well. I know you a heavier Southern accent. Well, I'll tell you what. We're gonna sit here and talk about some 3D printing. So, hey Xander. Oh, I thought Xander had come up here. I really miss having my Walter beard. Do you know what happened to the Walter beard?
No idea. No idea what happened to it.
Oh, I found the Walter beard. Yeah, the tape's a little. All right, so now I got my Walter beard. I don't have my hat to wear, but I got my here Walter beard. So hey everybody, that's Walter from Kuntry 3D, and we're here to talk about some 3D printing stuff. Just streaming. Somebody made a YouTube streamer chat notification device just to have to find and tweak it so streamers get shocks when the chat's shouting. I'm not sure what that was all about, but Glenn, this isn't working. Can you drop your resolution down to 144? You know, I did think about it today. I was trying to figure out like if I could take his intro video and make it real pixelated so that when it played the intro came up pixelated too, but no, unfortunately with the Queen's internet here, it's gonna come through nice and clear. So Shane said, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I took a lot of sleeping pills Saturday and Sunday's a blur. Start, Kate. Three Jimmy said, actually, Glenn, your mouth is a Stargate. Pop in a gummy and it will go on a journey. Well, if you eat the sugar-free gummies, that journey will be quicker. And Brian Vine said that he's using an iPad, so it'll be about the same because I don't know where my tablet is right now, but it's a 10-inch tablet, so it's about the size of an iPad. So hello, Robbie Mac. Got a vape? No, you know, like I got this bag and you're like. Brian Vine, I did not. This is a custom-made Walter beard, made from pillow stuffing. Shane wants young Walter. I think he's got headphones on. I don't think he can hear. My image quality is too good for country time. I'm not used to it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Chris's. And he's been throwing a lot of things at it to try to fix it lately, but so Walter virus. Yeah, so I have begun building a list for the items for the new Xander's Thing Thursday, or the re-imaging, I guess. My wife told me I'm not allowed to call it new and improved, but yeah. So if you guys have any suggestions on things that you would like to see printed and talked about on a Xander's Thing Thursday, you can actually email them to Xander at Xander, Xander at funking3d.com, because he's the curator. He's the one that actually chooses the things that go onto the series. Ooh, okay, I have to time out 247 Hinky for at least 10 minutes for that comment. No. I may be a balder Walter, but I'm definitely a younger Walter. You guys do know that I'm like a month younger than Walter, right? And that's how that whole age thing started, was the fact that we're so close in age, but yet he looks like he's 20 years older than me. Does Xander have a set schedule yet? Are you talking about for Peg Leg Paul? Right now, his channel does not have a schedule because we're still jostling things around to see when, like, what works best for him. And with school coming up, it's going to get a little weird, but it's most likely going to be in the evenings, like, 6 to 7 or 6 to 8. But we haven't locked that in. Now, as far as the Xander's Thing Thursdays, those are still going to be Thursday at noon, but those will be pre-recorded and released. You can watch them at your leisure. Watch them 3 or 4 or 10 times. internet version of Country Crud. It'll affect your network connection and speed. Yeah, but how come it doesn't affect the people that watch, Walter? So, you know, if it would have worked out, time wise, we could have set this up where I actually did the stream, but it went to Walter's house and then went to YouTube. So then the resolution could have been grainy. Yeah, 3D Jimmy, we appreciate you being there. It's funny because he did a 2-hour stream on Sunday. So I did this 2-hour stream and then he streamed for 2 hours right after that. And at the end of it, he had gotten the equivalent of 10 hours of watch time, and we were so excited. We were so excited to have 10 hours of watch time, and it takes me back because, you know, Fun King 3D has grown so significantly over the last 2 years, and that most, you know, well, I was going to say mostly, almost completely thanks to Joel Telling. Like, I don't remember those days. I don't remember the days of doing. Like, I remember having to punch the button to do our first live stream ever, and how much anxiety and how much stress there was. But I don't remember doing a stream and not having anyone watching, you know, or 3 or 4 people watching or whatever. So it's kind of fun to get to do this all over again from the beginning. And watch him grow, and I get excited when his sub count goes up and stuff. So, and then the fact that he had a troll the other night, you know, just blew my mind. Such a young channel and already has a troll. You know, I you know, the producer got to kick somebody out. So, Carl, I am not Walter. That is a fact that I am definitely not Walter. I'm the better looking of the two and the younger of the two. So, Shane, those are all that's everybody's streams from the beginning. You know, like I'm still dumbfounded when I go to somebody's stream who, you know, a peer, you know, somebody I consider an equal, and I go to their stream and there's only 10 people watching, and I think, wow, you know, like, because I missed those days. You know, I got to skip ahead so greatly, you know, because I get like 12 people watching my streams instead of 10. So, so how many do we have in here right now? According to YouTube, we have 29 watching, you know, and I know that's not huge, but it's a difference, you know, 29 versus, you know, 5 or 1, you know, and then you find out that's just your mom watching. So, what, oh, we're still talking about, I was trying to figure out what Shane was talking about, but, Canadian Maker Project Room. Why are you on Walter's channel? This feels odd. It should feel odd. So for those of you who have joined since I started, I'm only here for the cat. No, that's Martin. Walter had some stuff to take care of tonight. He had a appointment that he had to go to, and he's finally getting that lump on his shoulders checked out. No, he had a prior engagement. I did this for him 1 year ago. Tomorrow will be 1 year ago that I did this for him as well. Yeah, he called me today and just asked me if I would fill in and burn up some time. And you know, it's always fun to go on somebody else's channel, because if I'm going to go off the rails, I'm definitely going to go off the rails on somebody else's channel, as not to nuke my own. So maybe I'll drop the F-bomb sometime through this. No. That's not going to happen. So, but that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here on Walter's channel. I'm just kind of filling in. I wish I had a green screen, because I would have then had Walter take a picture of his backdrop, and I would have filled in the backdrop behind me so that it completely looked like I was at Walter's place. But nope, you're just stuck here in the Fun King 3D studio. What's wrong with your audio, Mr. Brian Vines? Yeah, this is a not so family friendly channel. Gloves are off. Yeah, but I'm a family friendly, person. Like not that I'm, oh, I'm just like perfect and I don't ever do anything wrong. But I don't ever want this image to be tied with something that's not family friendly. So that's why I'm selective of the channels that I join. So notice Walter using Prusa Slicer 2.0 yesterday. I have been using Wanhao Kira. Just started using PS 2.0 and cannot believe how much a slicer makes a difference. My prints are 100% better. It's funny. I caught a thread, might have been this morning, on the Facebook, how somebody was saying that Kira, anything above 4.0 is just complete and utter trash, and it just doesn't work. But there are so many settings in a slicer that sometimes one slicer feels easier to set up. For some reason, like you just get, I don't know, you get a little bit more of a groove with that particular slicer. And different models definitely come out different out of different slicers. So Brian Vine said my mic level was low, so I had to really boost the levels in my editor, and it brought along some background hiss on my last video. Yeah, audio's tough. Xander uses a gaming headset with the built-in microphone, and we were picking up a little noise in the background, so I had put a 30 dB filter on it. And but that thing can still pick me up from across the room if I make any noise. So it's like when Xander's streaming, you gotta be dead silent. This stream will become the YouTube PSA for the Protect Your Key campaign. Well, you know what's really funny? If you schedule the stream, if you go into it, as an event and schedule it and use a one-time key, you have to have access to the YouTube channel to be able to click the Go Live button. But if you use the master key, then you don't need access to the YouTube account. And I would think that it would be completely different, that a temporary key would have a little less security to it, and the master key would be more locked up. But I mean, that's just me. I don't know. Yes, Walter got such better internet that it made him younger. Prusa Slicer is great for me. Now, are we talking about Slicer Prusa Edition, or are we talking about the new Prusa Slicer? Because I haven't used the Prusa Slicer yet. And that's only because I have Slicer PE installed and configured and tweaked, and I just haven't taken the time to install the Prusa Slicer and get everything reset. Because I use Slicer Prusa Edition for all my printers, regardless of brand. So it's just my my slicer of choice. Chris Riley is in the house, and no, we are talking about slicer. I don't know what this slick thing that you're talking about. I mean, SLIC, it's not even a word. Like, to pronounce it as slick, you're incorrect, sir. And the fun part is right now, Chris cannot argue back. He'll be over there typing feverishly. I use Prusa Slicer mostly, but sometimes I use Ice SL, which has some cool features like supports and others. Well, I really truly believe that Prusa is going to take the Prusa Slicer a long way. I think that I truly believe that Simplify 3D has been dead for a while now, but I think that they're in a whole lot of trouble with Prusa Slicer coming at them. So. Walter finished the Stargate, went through it, and came out the other side as Glenn. No, Walter definitely did not finish that Stargate. Hello, Paul Cumber. Nice of you to join us. Here all the time, I thought Walter had hair and a beard. Well, he does have a beard here. Put my Walter beard back on. The tape kind of annoys my chin after a while. So, how's that? Turns out his net was just fuzzy. Rudy Gessner says, Chris, heard you had internet problems. Somebody mentioned you got Walter crud. That's going to be a thing now, Walter crud. Maybe you should ask a network engineer to fix your problems. Kept the Prusa Slicer 2.0 to default settings. It also seems faster. It seems faster to print. Well, I mean, as far as settings, like I use all of the stock profiles for my Prusa printer because I trust that they know what they're doing. Obviously, I tweak it for my filament, but you know, with my AM8, that thing is completely different than anything. And then these two, and then everything is custom for the FK1. So. Miss hang out with my friend on YouTube. Well, which friend, Paul? Are you talking about Walter or me here on Walter's channel? Chris, do you think that the problem is actually in the PC? Do you think that's where the problem is coming from? I mean, might be time for the good old, you know, F-disk patch. At least, you know, like blow out OBS and reinstall it. A little RCCNC? Oh, well, thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. Network's got the swampies. Larry strikes again. Yeah, I'll tell you, the Linux version of OBS is pretty awesome. Like when I was having the computer issues, when I first moved to the studio to this spot and didn't get to bring my computer over, I have a dual Xeon Dell machine that I run Linux on, and I use that with the OBS for a while, and it's awesome, except for like the camera control was a little bit more complicated, and you know, because of it being, you know, Linux instead of Windows. But that PC has been buggy since I got it. Might be time to reload everything. Yeah, that would be the F-disk patch. Well, and the Windows updates are almost getting to the point like the phone updates. When you get the Android updates or whatever for your phone, technically you're supposed to then wipe the phone out after the update installs. You're supposed to wipe it all out and you know, factory reset it and reinstall all your stuff so that it takes all of the changes. And Windows is kind of getting to that same way, where all of a sudden when these major updates come out, you almost need to wipe the whole thing out, let it install Windows and all of the updates, which takes forever now, and then reinstall all of your stuff. But it's like that's a whole weekend down the toilet. TF disk MBR. Paul Walter had a prior engagement to be at tonight, and it's yearly. So I mean, at this point, for the last 2 years, I've been here in this seat at this time of year. So who knows, you know, maybe we wait another year and I'll do it again, but yeah, he couldn't be here tonight, and he didn't want to not stream. So Jesse Foreman said everyone should like this stream and make Walter wonder why. Well, yes, everyone should like this stream. I was reluctant to make the move to Windows 10. I let the magic smoke out and had no choice. Yeah, I would absolutely run Linux as my main workstation, but I can't. The software that I use just won't. Well, in fact, the software that I use for work, they haven't even written a 64-bit version of it yet. They're working on it for the last 4 years. But, yeah, so there's no way I can get it to run under Linux. It just won't happen. So 35 watching, 14 likes. Come on. Carl, if you tag Walter in this stream, it doesn't help. You have to tag me. I'm not logged in as Walter, so. But yeah, Carl said, yeah, it would be nice if they still did the all-inclusive service packs like they used to, so you didn't have to load 300 updates. Yeah, well, every once in a while, you can go download the new ISO that's got more of the updates in it, but they're releasing updates so fast that it's such a pain. Such a pain. Shane said, wait, at NAC 3D Designs, when is, never mind. Oh, so then Carl comes into Xander's stream on Sunday night, and Xander looks up at the chat and goes, oh, Naked 3D's here. I'm like, it's NAC 3D, not Naked Designs. That's what he said. Oh, Naked Designs is here. Big Steve says he's entirely Linux at home and mostly at work. Personally, I'm 50-50. I run equal number of both machines, but the rest of the household is Windows. So I was doing some updates and changes on my Linux box a couple days ago, and I had to actually go and log in at the server instead of PuTTY, and it was kind of a little nostalgic. I hadn't physically logged into that machine in so long. It was kind of fun. Put that new Easy Board Lite on one of my Ender 3s. I have to say I'm loving it. Easy to install and works great. Not cheap though. Well, that's good news. Had a client having a business critical applications running on DOS. Wow. As the hardware got old, we had to install a VMware cluster for that. Wow, that's pretty crazy. At the end of 1999, right at the end of 1999, and we all knew what came right after 1999, the Domino's Pizza Company here in the US, their machines were not Y2K compliant, and they were going to have to spend huge money to send all these computers out to the individual locations. And my business partner and I had found a clock card that was Y2K compliant and installed it in there and made their machine Y2K compliant. And so then they sent word out to all of the other Domino's. We were selling them to Domino's like crazy, like by the caseload. We were selling these cards, and we got free pizza for the remainder of the time that we were there. It was awesome. Yeah, I taunted him for a few minutes, then got bored and left. I don't know what the obsession is with watching other people play video games. I can't just sit there and watch somebody else play it. You know, if I'm playing and I want to learn something, then that's one thing, but to just sit and watch somebody else play. Nightbot wants you to support the channel through streamlabs.com/country3d or funking3d. Either one of those two are fine. Feels like the movie War Games every time I remote into my computers at work. Want to play a game? Novell Netware. Oh yeah. I used to do work for a body shop, and their software was not networkable. It was per machine, and they decided that they wanted to add a second computer. So we networked the two machines using Lantastic, for those of you who go back that far. And we had to kind of fibbed to the software. Like, we just manipulated it where both machines could use it, but only one at a time. And, you know, like, this person had to save and get out, and then this person could open, because it just wouldn't handle locking the files and stuff. So I got a call one day that they had some people in there that had questions about the computer system, and I went down there, and they were monkeying with stuff, and the guy's like, well, we need to do this and this and this, and I got in there working, and he was asking me these outrageously, like, dumb questions. And when they had told me who they were, I thought they said that they were from Novell. Well, it turns out they were from Axo Nobel, which is a auto paint company. So here I thought I was working with people from Novell, and these guys were like, well, what are you doing there? And, well, what's that? And, you know, but just a fun little story. Brian Vine says he used to be a Netware admin back in the mid-90s. That's back when computers were fun. Thank you, 3D Guzner, for being here. Get some good sleep. Fantastic. Coax cable. Yeah, it was a BNC connector and coax. I still have all the tools for that. Nobody uses it anymore. In fact, somewhere around here I have a bunch of the T's. All the BNC T's just put together into a big ball. They're all like snapped together, and it's this big ball, and then there's a couple of terminators on the end of them. Yep. Chris Travis said with BNC connectors. I'll have to find that ball of T's. I think I know where it is, actually. You know, it's like, you know, why not drag stuff around for 20 plus years and stuff you're never going to use again. We used to play Doom over a parallel port. Yep, absolutely. In fact, well, Quake was a big one. The house I was living in at the time, my desk was up against a wall, and on the other side was the kitchen table. And my friend and I wanted to play I think we were playing over a serial cable, though. But I just took a steak knife and like punched a hole in the drywall, cut a hole big enough to pass that 25-pin connector through. And then the computer company I was working for at the time, we built a new office. And in part of the building of the office, I designed it. We actually put a server. They let me put a file server in there. Well, I built it strong enough to be a Quake server. And we would do Quake sessions. We would start like Friday at end of business. My friends would show up, and we wouldn't go home until Sunday night. Sometimes not until Monday morning. Those were the days. Carl said, I remember beta testing Windows NT 3.5 and saying how it was a memory hog and just junk and not worth the trouble. I have a copy of. I think it's NT 3.1. It might be 3.5 somewhere on 3.5-inch floppy in the box, like the original box, and IBM's OS 2. On twin axe with Terminators, the ones you can remove and go home early on Fridays. Well, if you take the Terminator out, then all the data falls out onto the floor. You gotta keep them Terminators on there. Andrew S. says, thanks, YouTube notifications. Yeah, I understand how that is. 3D Jimmy, so far their printer's doing well. Not the one that I have here. I haven't touched that one. I mean, the one that I took back to them. This one I haven't even touched. But again, they haven't used it in 5 years. I don't think, a little bit more time is going to matter. I haven't even plugged it in to see. I mean, it could very possibly just be fine, and that they just didn't understand the software. Like there's no background to it. We don't really know. So my first dial-up account was 14.4. You're lucky. My first dial-up account was a 900 baud modem, and then I got a 1400 baud modem, and then was it no 2400 baud modem. And then I went to, I guess my very first modem was a 300 baud on my Commodore. But I remember having a 14.4, and no, it was when I had my 2400, and my buddy got his 14.4, and he was like, oh yeah, this comes up twice as fast on my machine. Yeah, BBS boards, and you'd send messages when they got the somebody will know what it was called when the BBSs got together and started the first type of email where it would actually send board to board, and it would take like 3 days to get a message to somebody. We played so much Quake in between classes in high school that we crashed the school servers a couple of times. Oh yeah, we would play. I mean, we would play for days straight, and like there was no stopping. If you were tired, you had to go find some place to hide in the map and sleep wherever you were playing and hope nobody killed you while you were asleep. So I was a NetWare admin back in the day, then OS2, now Unix. Well, it's funny because I was the only person in the company that had ever touched OS2. Like somebody had given us a copy. I don't even remember who it came from, but somebody had given us a copy, and they gave it to me so I could take it home and install it and try it out and stuff. And I played with it for about a month and decided that I hated it and didn't want anything to do with it. And 6 months later, we got a call from the University of Central Florida, UCF, and they were having an OS2 computer issue. And guess who had to go? Because I was the resident OS2 expert. Yeah, that was a challenge. I wasn't even really sure what I was doing, but as long as you can fake it, you can make it. Yeah, I was the in-house Nix expert too, and I got sent to it's a major fastener company. They're based out of Orlando, but they send fasteners all over the world. But they had a Unix server that lived in this closet, and they hadn't touched it in years. Like it just ran and ran and ran. And so they were thinking about upgrading it to make it faster. And I was standing with the president of the company in this closet. And when I say closet, it was like 3 foot wide and maybe 6 feet deep. And the two of us are standing there, and the machine's on the floor. They have a 2-post rack, but the machine's on the floor with a keyboard and a monitor. And it was just in a mini tower. And we were talking about it. And he's like, I want to do some upgrades to it and stuff. And as we were standing there, it died. It was just done. And I looked at him, I said, I'm so glad you were standing here when that happened. So I don't take the blame. So needless to say, they got a new server that weekend. I got an OS2 Warp. That's actually what I had, Big Steve, was OS2 Warp. Yep. 300 baud acoustic coupler on a VIC-20 here. I didn't have an acoustic coupler. Mine were always straight plug-in modems. But on the Commodore, it was like the cartridge that plugged into the back. And then I got an ISD line because cable. This was before cable was available. I shelled out the ponies. I was an Intel partner, and my Intel rep got me 2 of these point-to-point tunnel protocol ISDN modem router combinations, and so I got an ISDN line installed in my house and one at my work. And just blazing speed for that time. And then when Time Warner finally released cable in our area, in our town, I installed the very first one that they ever sold, and then I was like number 6 on the list to get it. Always been about fast internet. It's got to be fast. Archie and Veronica for the win. Oh, that is going back a ways. Tristan said, hi, all. YouTube's still not giving me notifications. Tristan, it's a problem. I have that problem all the time with YouTube. And of course, this stream wasn't scheduled. I just punched this up live. So there wasn't even that early half-hour notification. But the other thing that YouTube is really good at is unsubscribing you from channels that you don't really want to unsubscribe from. So, and the other fun thing is I get notifications from channels that I don't want notifications from. I might be subscribed to them, but it doesn't mean that I have to be notified immediately upon the release of stuff. I can't. I have over 250 channel subscriptions. My phone would just be binging all the time. I remember in '87 aligning the Tandy 5.25 drives in college. Robbie Max said, I remember when I got on AOL and someone said to use Yahoo to do web searches, and I thought they were messing with me, not realizing Yahoo is a real thing yet. When I first got on the internet, it was a small internet provider. It was called Green Street Internet. And the kid had come into the computer store where I was working, and he's like, oh, you guys use the internet? And I'm like, the what? He's like, the internet. And he started telling me about the internet. And he's like, I want to give you guys an account, one account. I want to give you guys an account to use. Well, again, the company wasn't really sure what to do with it. So they said, all right, well, you're in charge of it. Well, I took it home. I took all the information home and got on the internet. And of course, then I was hooked. But back then, there weren't any pictures. Like you didn't use a browser. It was before, was it Mosaic was the first browser, I think? But it was even before then. It was all text-based. It was all command line in the beginning. And I had started to map it out. Like I was just taping 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper to my kitchen wall, mapping out the internet. And then somebody figured out how to put color and picture on the internet. And then it just went to crap from there. Ronnie Julian, what 1600 or 1650 what? Chris Travis says, I'm hoping my town gets fiber. I was excited when cable offered a gig here. Like I would call them about every 3 or 4 months and just ask them if they had it here. And finally they were like, yeah. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you really sure? And sure enough, yeah. But it's only gig down. It's not gig both ways. So I would like to have fiber as well. But even when we were looking to buy this property, before we bought the property, like I had a clause in there that we could back out if certain utilities weren't available. I got hold of the cable company to make sure high-speed internet was available here because we're kind of in the sticks. Any MCI mail vets here? Where's Walter? Why is this stream under Kuntry 3D? Well, because this is Kuntry 3D. This is country time. Welcome to country. I got to put the beard back on. Hey, y'all, welcome to Country Time with me, Walter, here on Kuntry 3D, where we're going to talk about this unfinished Stargate. Tristan, Walter had another engagement this evening that he had to be at, and he didn't want to not have a stream, so he turned me loose, and then we're not even talking about 3D printing. That's the fun part, so. About using CompuServe for tech support from hardware and software companies before the internet. Yeah, I remember CompuServe. The best though was AOL and the free CDs they were giving out. Like I don't know, 6, 7 a week I would get in the mail, and I started to stick them to the wall in my office, and I had like a whole wall covered in CDs, you know, like shiny side out. I didn't want to see their label, but. Here I sit wanting to say how young Walter is looking tonight. And then we get tales of the first days of the internet. Feels old again. Well, just remember, Walter was there when God created the earth. Mosaic. Beard is crooked. Well, I can't grow a beard. I got to take whatever I can get. I guess it's because the tape's crooked. My Colonel Sanders beard. I should have made a really big bushy one, you know, for no shave 19. My first month's CompuServe bill was $1,200 because they charged a premium price for the 1,200 baud. That's crazy. Fake Walter, he's not vaping. Hello, Matt, Jake from State Farm. Walter will not be joining us this evening. Apparently, so I don't know if he wants you guys to know or not wants you guys to know where he is. He's getting a tummy tuck and a facelift so that he can look younger. No, he's at an open house, and he was there last year. Tomorrow, 1 year ago tomorrow, he was there as well. But he was actually in the chat and running the stream while he was there, and I guess he got in trouble. So he said he won't be joining us tonight. So. Jesse Foreman, yeah. How about Netscape? Yep. Well, that Netscape came about right after the Mosaic. That's when the pictures started to get big on the internet. So, you mean drink coasters? Yeah, they weren't very good for drink coasters though, because the moisture just rolled off of them onto the desk anyway. This is Gator Glenn to go with Swamp Guy Larry. Well, last year I wore my Gators hat, and I had my glasses and my beard on. And here I'm gonna throw a link in the chat. This was last year's. Don't go watch it now. Keep watching me live. I'm more fun. But that's the stream from last year. At least watch the first few seconds of it, right coming out of intro. So I don't even remember how the rest of the stream went. Probably off the rails like this one, but on the 7th day, God and Walter went out for a beer. Oh, Matt, that's kind of you to say. Paul Zander's doing well, buddy. He doesn't like to join me anymore. He's too busy with his own stuff, but should have made a 3D printed beard advertising Fun King 3D. I printed a 3D printed mustache one time. It was Tom Selleck's mustache off of Thingiverse, and it clips to the bottom part of your nose there, whatever that piece is called. But it like digs in and it hurts and it makes my eyes water. I should get a green screen for next year and put myself in the country. Well, maybe next year I'll just go to Walter's house. I mean, if this becomes a habit and I know it's coming. He called me like 6 hours ago and asked me if I wanted to do this. Apparently he offered it up to Mr. Chris Riley first, but Chris is on call tonight, so he couldn't dedicate himself to the stream. Yeah, Joe Pack, I did. I shaved it to be awesome. Because, you know, bald is beautiful. And actually, I just cut my hair yesterday, so. Shane, we actually talked about getting one for Xander so that he could, but he doesn't want to appear on his streams, at least not yet, so. Paul, she's doing well. She's healing up nicely. Was God allowed in the bar? Did Walter have to get a drink for him? Yep, I was the backup to a backup. Yep. Well, it's funny because he said to me, "Oh, I did ask Chris if he wanted to do it, but he's on call." And I'm fairly certain that he did the same thing last year. That he had actually asked Chris before me. So. Walter offered it to you too. So I was like 19th on the list or something. Yeah, Paul, I do. I actually I work just like about, I don't know, 10 feet that way. So in fact, where the videos used to be shot, that's my office. So it works out really well. I only have to go to the office once a week if everything goes according to plan. We have staff meetings on Mondays, so Mondays I do have to go into the office, and then as long as everything continues to run fine, IT-wise, I can stay home. And if it's minor problems, I can remote in, and then otherwise I just do the construction estimating. So. But yeah, when Walter asked, my first thought was, I could just play Minecraft instead. But no, I don't mind. I don't mind filling in for Walter. It's fun. I mean, for the most part, everybody that's here watches my channel, and vice versa. Anyway, we kind of share all the same family, and a lot of that has to do with fun in the country basement. But it all just works out. Gets my face out on the internet. Can only do 1 day or week work from home. Wish they would let us do more. Yeah, well, see, in the beginning, my company didn't have an office because we do work all over the state of Florida. So we just go wherever the work is, and we didn't have an office, but I had to have access to a computer to do the estimating. So I just, they said, well, do you mind working from your own computer? And I'm like, no, that's great. And then even when we got an office, I'm like, I can't work in an office. The distractions would drive me crazy. I need my space. I work in the dark. I have blackout blinds on my windows. I don't turn the lights on. I work in the dark. And I just sit in my little hole with my 3 monitors and get my work done. So it is a killer job, and I work for a wonderful, wonderful company. They're very, very family oriented. I mean, we are family in the company, but they're well aware, with all this stuff going on with my wife, they didn't have any problem with me working, from the hospital, which, I mean, technically the way that my job works, I could work from anywhere in the country, but it's all good. Carl said, well, I was going to do the stream with my green screen, but Natasha has an eye doctor appointment, and I wasn't sure I'd be back in time, so he picked you. So I'm now like number 20. 3D Jimmy says, I work from home also. I turn plastic into money. Yeah, I can't cross that bridge. As soon as I turn this into making money, as soon as I turn it into a job, I'm not going to want to do it anymore. So, in fact, this job that I have, I'll have been there 4 years in November, which is like one of the longest jobs I've ever had. 2 years is about all I make it at a job before I got to move on. So, well, thank you, Chris Collada. That's much appreciated. Nightbot says, if you want to keep on seeing this type of content, help on Patreon. But Patreon isn't going to help to see this kind of content. Maybe you could print some Stargate or Bear parts and get some projects finished. Again, had I known this was coming, like a month ago, if he would have said, hey, will you sub for me next month? I would have totally done that. I would have printed all the Stargate parts and then put it together. Glenn works in the Glen zone. Hope you got some good computer glasses. That's hard on your eyes. Well, right now I just have these cheap dollar store glasses. But the eye issue was more prevalent back in the day of CRT monitors, not so much with the LCDs, but right now I'm not buying good glasses because my prescription is changing monthly. So my blind spot has subsided quite well. It's now just kind of a slight fisheye. So like when I'm driving down the road and I look at the double yellow line in the middle, it's got a little wave to it like this, which is weird, but. How's the weather? It is pouring like crazy out there right now. It is like 1,000% humidity. Joe says, good to hear it's a close-knit company, makes it easier with family stuff. Yeah, well, and you know, again, when I started, I was their first office employee. Like they have, you know, we have people in the field that lay block, and we have masons and tenders and stuff. But I was the first office employee, so that you know built that relationship. I have a really close relationship with both the owners of the company. So. Wow, Walter got handsome and younger. I know, right? I thought it was a chat meeting, then didn't hear Walter. No, it's just me. It's just me. Walter's not here, and I didn't want him to put anything. He did put my link in the description, but he didn't say anything, so that's okay. Because he asked me what I wanted the subject to be, and I'm like, well, just make it. You know, let's just make it something general, 3D print chat or whatever, so that nobody knows that it's going to happen. So, oh, it's raining at your house too, Shane? Imagine that. For those of you guys that don't know, Shane lives like 15 minutes from here. It's like 6 miles at the most, but yeah. Praying for the electricity to go. Why? So you don't have to work? That's what battery backups are for. Michael Cassell said, I started helping my dad with the sign shop in '98 and went full-time when I graduated in '06. Then I bought him out 6 years ago. Yeah, I've been self-employed a couple of times. I'm really good at marketing myself for Fun King 3D. I suck at marketing myself for my own business. So I always had to have a partner that was good at marketing. Really, Jimmy, you mean those yellow lines are straight? No, they're really not, but they're more not straight for me. Hello, John Strand. Whole house generator, Shane. I wired my house. I made provisions to put a whole house generator on this house. And over the 6+ years that it took me to build the house, we had lost power like twice, and it was just blips. So I never put it in. And then we had, I want to say it was Pike, came through and replaced a bunch of the poles, and now the power's all buggy. Duke Electric took over, and it's just buggy. So I may still have to put a whole house generator on at some point. Too old for that fancy new tech thing like battery backup. Yeah, I just had to put a new battery in my server backup. Every time I would shell into the machine, it would complain. Oh, I missed that, Shane. The other Shane, Game Critic Shane, posted something and then retracted it. Well, Shane, Game Critic, if you haven't seen me in a while, that's because you haven't been looking. I am on every week from 4 to 6 on Fun in the Country Basement. But I haven't seen you in a while either, so. Walmart readers all over the house. No, these are Dollar Tree right here, buddy. Woo! Because I have 2 different prescriptions, so I buy 2 pair and then, you know, pop one of the lenses out. So it's like I want to say it's a 2 on this side and a 125 on this side, or I don't know, I'd have to look at my sheet. But again, it's changing all the time, so I have to. Hello, 3D Printing Viking, 3D Print Viking. I work from home, so we need it, otherwise I have to take a vacation. Oh, they make you take vacation time? Like if your power goes out? That's dirty. I guess they would make me come to the office if I lost power for too long, but if I lose power, then most likely everybody else did too. And then if the power goes out at the office, or if the internet goes out at the office, and I can't remote in, then I have to find busy time work to do. Walter's impersonating Glenn tonight. He's doing a good job, isn't he? We have LCEC power, means lost complete electrical connection. Well, we're on a co-op. It's a co-op, but they buy their power from Duke. And like as far as the co-op goes, they're awesome. Anything that you need, they're very helpful and stuff, but the reliability has just dropped. That's the best Dollar Tree readers. I work for Maine, so no office. No, there's no going to the office. Yeah, it's a good gig. I'm never alone though. I never get alone time. There's somebody in this house all the time. And now that Xander, like this last year was his first year being virtual schooled, so he's home for that. And he's here all the time. I've lettered a few boats with the name The Office. That makes sense. Hello, Mark Baker. Oh. Yeah. So again, for any of you guys that have joined a little bit later, it's obviously not Walter tonight, it's me. Walter had somewhere to be and asked me to guest host, which is 364 days from the last time that I went this, that I did this for him. So, you know, maybe we'll make a yearly habit out of this, at least I guess until his kids graduate. Once his kids are out of school, then he'll have to come up with a different excuse. But so where's Walter? Now that it's nice to see you going. Well, you know, like you guys should just be like, it doesn't even matter who's sitting here. Just the fact that the picture is so much cleaner should be a huge a huge blessing. Well, that's because I'm a little bit clairvoyant, and I knew you were going to ask that. No, that's just filler chatter. But I thought about letting Xander take this stream time for his Peg Leg Paul account, but being that it's actually on Walter's channel, then you know. So, and then my wife said, "Oh, that's good. You get a little airtime," and I'm like, "No, I won't. It's all on Walter's channel. Walter's getting the airtime. I get nothing." Yeah, I shave here. I'll grow it back here. I'll put my beard back on. Gotta get it straight. Got to find something better to stick. It's just stuck with packing tape. So, and then you got to do the, hey everybody, it's Walter from Country 30 Day. Welcome. We're gonna talk about an unfinished Stargate. Oh, my beard's falling off. Yeah, for those of you who didn't see the link earlier, that is the stream from a year ago. If nothing else, at least watch the first few seconds after it comes out of intro. I had a little bit more time to think about it last year. I found the perfect color for my ANET E10, Ziltec green, perfect match. Awesome. That's right, the E10 did have green instead of the orange. Yeah, I found the perfect color for my ANET E12. It was the inside of a box, and away it went to Tom Llama. I'm kind of boring on my normal channel. Oh, you're so lucky that I'm a family-friendly guy. Just remember, we'll be in the same room in just, what, 60 days? How far are we out of Earth? I know it's coming up fast. I love the fact that you can just Google Earth and it comes right up. Oh, I thought they had a countdown. I thought they had a countdown on their website. No, October. So 2 months, we're like 60 days, right? Yeah, Carl, listen to John. No reason to be mean. I know what you drive. The FK1, Paul, it's down right now. Like I've started to disassemble it to put the additional motors and electronics and stuff in it. So it's kind of in an in-between state right now, but I am hoping to have it back together very, very soon. Walter would have flipped me. No, see, I'm not even going to do that on Walter's channel. Never do I want this associated with non-family friendly, regardless of where I am. So, even though there are times that I can get a little off the rails. I think that night that James from Print and Play and I were live streaming in on the Friday night 3D printing hangout at, I want to say that was at Murph. Yeah, that had to have been at Murph. Not this past one, but the one before. And we just dominated the stream. I think things were a little off the rail then, but I think it stayed pretty clean. The FK one is in the same state as the Stargate. Well, no, because it was actually completed and functioning, and then got undone. The Stargate has never functioned. This one has the Chris Riley signature on it, so it's famous. You are on the Earth, Glenn. Gravity makes that happen. You know, Carl, I'm just going to ban you because it doesn't affect me. That's not my video that I'm in? Oh, yeah, you're right. Dag nabbit. Well, thank you for pointing that out to me. I went by the date and the fact that he was talking about me in that video, so I thought that was the one. Well, then don't bother going to watch that one. I just kind of scroll through and see which ones of his videos I've watched because there aren't many of them. Yeah, I don't even know. Maybe it never happened. Maybe I just oh, I bet this is it. I bet this is it. Yeah. Okay, so new link, ignore that other one that I was posting. Let's try this one. That should be a little bit more fun. The Stargate and FK1 are in the same state. Florida. True. All right. All right, Paul. Enjoy your foods. Well, you can get one of my Check Your Infinite Z shirts next. I don't pay for shirts to advertise for other people. Now, if you want to send me one for, no, just. Oh yeah, Brian Vines is always on the cutting edge. Yeah, so it was actually August 6th. It was the same day. So it was 1 year ago today. Can't even get the links right. No, you're right. His channel is just too, it's just too messed up. All of his thumbnails look exactly the same to me. No, it's actually the one that's got the thumbnail with fun written across it. There's a good t-shirt for Earth. Welcome, Earthlings. That is actually pretty funny. I bet if you submit that to them, they would make that happen. People give you free shirts. It's amazing, Mike. I don't know what it is. People are like, here, have a shirt. Oh, here, have one for your kids, too. I was about to call you a prima donna if you finished that comment. Well, I'll tell you what, Carl, that is exactly what I say to people when they're like, hey, would you like to try out our filament? You can order it here. And I go, I'll try out your filament, but you're going to send it to me for free because I already have enough filament that I've paid for. Yeah, who is it? The Sunlu company. They emailed me or DM'd me or whatever on Twitter. Hey, you want to try and test out our filament? I'm like, sure. And I said, are you going to send me a code for Amazon? Well, you buy it and then we'll pay you back after your review. And I'm like, nope, sorry, don't work that way. I don't do that. If you want to send me something, you know, to test, I will test it and review it. But either way, it's not swaying the review you get. And then they're always like, you know, I'll refund you after your 5-star review. And I'm like, I'm not guaranteeing you a 5-star review. That yellow Prusa hasn't moved in 365 days. I wonder if it's even printed since then. My AM8, it hasn't. Oh, I'm sure it's moved. It's still that's its home. But no, I use that printer all the time. That's my PLA printer. That's my PETG printer. And those ones, I've only printed on that CR20 Pro one time, and that was the initial unboxing and printing. The CR10S I need to spend some time with the bed leveling. I've been fighting the bed leveling on that, and I think it's just that I haven't taken the time to figure it out. So yeah, we both know I'm not one of those channels that can afford that. No, I feel you. I feel you, Carl. I feel you. But like my whole wardrobe, that's what it's full of. It's just full of 3D printing related shirts, and you know, like I'm guilty of it as well. I use the Gildan 2000, which is a 6.1 ounce cotton T-shirt, but like everybody makes these heavy T-shirts, and almost all my shirts are black or dark gray. And I open I'm like, oh, what am I gonna wear? It's all just black, and it's so hot outside. Same spool of filament on the A8 too. No, if you look at that video, that is a roll of oh, why does that company slip me now? I haven't used them in so long. I can't remember who that is. But that's a clear spool. That's not a clear spool. That's IC3D. Back then, I wasn't using IC3D yet. So, and in fact, the E12 is still back there. The Robo is still there. And those are gone completely now, so. What is the name of that company? I'm gonna have to look now because it's gonna bother me. It's the one that I always picked on IC3D about because they had a never-ending battle going with them. And of course, their label on their roll doesn't even have their name. Hey, Xander. Xander. Who's the filament company that we were picking on IC3D about? You know, the whole, what's the matter, buddy? Did you have a bad dream? I dreamt that I had, Esun. Thank you. It would not come to me. Yeah, so that's a roll of Esun on there in the old video. And it's an IC3D on there now, which is actually pretty funny. Just needed to go back to the other video, and it really is a year apart. How strange is that? Yeah. Well, the fact that it fell on the same day. Like this had to have been a Monday. Like last year had to have been a Monday. So I'm not blind. I told you my eye's getting better. And I'm only blind in one eye. I just can't see crap out of the other one. Game Critic Shane, he's playing video games. He's hiding over on the other side of the wall there. Yeah, if you guys have, if you never seen the video that Xander and I did, I want to say I called it like a dark and stormy night or some crazy thing like that. All like when we were trying to convince IC3D to make our yellow PETG, because they had kind of a hiccup with eSun, and so we shot this video of Xander's dream, like he was dreaming. It was pretty funny. I mean, it was to me. It was to Xander. We trying to make it. We were laughing so hard. So and then the MakerBox video that I have coming out, which I would have been editing tonight had I not been doing this, but it'll be out in the next couple of days. Shooting the opening to that, it was starting to cause chronic laughter. Let's see if I can find a link to that. Yeah, that was a year ago. That was June 16th. So here, I'll throw a link up to that one if you guys want to check that out. And anybody that hasn't seen it, you know, thumbs up's always appreciated. Click that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. What's a print you would suggest to someone? I have printer's block. I run into that all the time. My way out of that is because of, you know, having, well, Zach. Like I can always find a toy for him, something to print. Let me think. You want something useful? Do you want something that's just fun to look at? You know, something practical, or and what kind of filament are we thinking? But no finger, it's still not coming. No, it's not going to happen. It doesn't matter what you say, Carl. That is not going to happen. Now, when I see you in person, it might happen. But it's not going to happen where there's any video coverage of it. I might just trip you and push you down the stairs. Yeah, Carl's right. Tomorrow is Wavy Wednesday. Fun to look at. Gloss red. Xander's rocket. I don't know. You know, like I like the there's a Flexi Raptor on Thingiverse that I like to print. It prints really cool. It's fun to play with. Like it'll hang off the side of a cup and stuff. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Sean Butler, okay, what reality is this? It's the now reality. It's the reality where Glenn takes over everybody's YouTube channel. Gonna have to give me a hidden camera, body cam. I heard IC3D drop their line of Pac-Man yellow the same day they released Fun King 3D yellow. Well, actually, my yellow, they didn't make a yellow in PETG, and that's what the big push was. And the fact that they didn't make one let me pick the color. Like, I gave them the Pantone shade that I wanted. I just can't get them to name it properly. They just call it yellow PETG, and that's just, you know. And on one hand, I have to be thankful and grateful because I needed that filament for the FK1, and you know it's in existence, and I'm okay with it. And on the other hand, I'm quite hurt that they wouldn't name it. Probably, I understand. I don't think I would either, but I mean, who knows? I might go off the rails and start flipping people the bird on somebody else's YouTube channel. We've entered the 3D multiverse. Just for tonight, just a little filling in. So at least I know Walter's not going to show up at my house tonight. So might have to look through some of the Xander's Thing Thursdays to find something. Well, there was a lot of things in there. Sean Butler said just call it FK yellow. Yeah, or FK3D yellow, or the FK1 yellow. You know, fun yellow, sunshine yellow. There's so many names that, you know, they could pay homage, but no, I am just truly grateful that they made the filament, and that it's a good filament. Because I didn't have a lot of experience. I mean, they had just started doing PETGs, and so here I'm begging them to make me one, and it could have sucked, and then I would have had all kinds of problems. But do the Dr. Evil Pinky? Yeah, they're still making it. It's a regular stock color. I mean, if you go into their website to order PETG, it's just their yellow PETG. Now, I will warn you, it does not match. It does not match the PLA. The PLA is more orangey. And I was trying to work with them on getting a matching PLA, but it would have taken having to buy exclusive rights to it, and I don't want to invest that kind of money. So right now my PLA go-to is still Hatchbox, which is a little bit more of a lemony yellow than my yellow is, but. Do a Stargate and finish before Walter. Well, Sean, I actually said the same thing. Had I known, because I didn't get much notice on this, just a few hours, but had I known like a month in advance, I would have printed out all the parts and like had everything ready, and I would have just built it sitting here, and then it would have been done before his. FK1, you mean that printer that doesn't print anything? Sure it does. I printed a ton of crap just standing at Murph. All right, listen, Carl is trying really hard to get me to give him the finger. So for you, Carl, you can have that one. Tristan, no, I wouldn't allow that. Absolutely not. No. God, Carl, you just don't know me, do you? I don't think there's anybody on this planet that I actually hate. There's a lot of people that irritate me and that I dislike, but I don't hate anybody. I can find the good in everybody. Or I just avoid them. This was Joe Mike the Gloss off. Carl needs to print a full-size Stargate on the White Knight. Yeah, except for we'd have to figure out how to get the White Knight, like maybe put a wedge at the end so that it turns as it's coming off. I don't know. Being round. That's it, Carl. That's the next thing you got to work on is how to print circles. Yeah, Patrick, if this would, but by then he might be done with this. But if this is going to go to next year, like I don't know when his daughter graduates. This might be her last year. I don't know. But yeah, if this is going to happen again, I have to have something. I have to have something set up like that. It'd be absolutely hysterical. Draw a Stargate on paper. I actually said to Walt when he called me today, like he was saying, and he's like, "Is that all right?" And I said, "Oh, I was just thinking." And he goes, "What?" And I said, "I'm trying to think if I have enough cardboard around here that I could cut out a Stargate and build it on the stream out of cardboard." I guess I could just I print one, like I'll pull up an image on Google Images and then like print it on my regular, ink printer. Sounds like a challenge. Get on Glenn's hate list. Well, in fairness, there are quite a handful of people that I've muted on Twitter just because I didn't want to hear the crap coming out of them. So, but I don't hate people. Life's too short to hate people. No, there's ways to anger me. There are ways to piss me off. You need to design a 3D printed Walter mask and wear it. Well, his head is available for printing, so I could just print, but I would print it like stupid big, like. No wonder oh yeah, you were one of the first ones I muted on Twitter, Carl. I was tired of your stuff way earlier. I've been using Snow Labs Yellow PLA. Okay, so RCCNC, the question that I always ask, and I usually have my hot box right here, but I've moved it because I got a Stream Deck. But is it a more lemony yellow or is it a more orangey yellow? So, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's still, well, here, I'll just clip it. It doesn't matter. So this is IC3D's yellow. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to tell that, but so it's more orangey than the typical. Well, the yellow, that's Hatchbox PETG on the AM8, which is almost like it's got kind of almost a neon hue to it. It's so bright. So, and then the FK1 parts, which I have a box of mist parts. Oh, I thought I did. I got one over here. It's Walter's channel. I can just get up and walk out anytime, right? So this is Fun King 3D yellow in the PETG. So, and again, I don't know if you guys will be able to tell that because the camera always lies, but yeah, I'll have to check that out. I was recently contacted by 3D Fuel about doing a review and stuff on their filament and setting up a partnership with those guys, which I met them at Murph. Good group of guys. So, and they sent me a roll of red, which is odd. Usually when companies send me filament to test, they always send me yellow. So, but they sent me this red, which is a really nice red, but I'm interested to see their yellow as well. So, it's all yellow on the camera. Yeah. Well, I mean, technically it's all yellow in real life, but the camera always lies on color, so it is a lemony yellow. Look at Solutech Real Yellow. I have a roll of Solutech, and I can't say that I was really impressed with it. Now, I didn't work with it a long time to dial it in. Pretty much if I buy a filament and I can't run it through one of my standard profiles, I lose interest in it really fast, so it's kind of on me, but I know Walter likes the 3D Solutech stuff. I doubt my dogs would miss me, but they might go hungry. Where's Walter? Is that like Where's Waldo? Walter had a prior engagement. He's at the open house for his daughter's school, and he didn't want to not stream, so he sent in the alternate Walter. Hey y'all, it's Walter from Kuntry 3D. The first time I did that last year, when I did that, I didn't tell Walter what I was going to do. I set all that up without him knowing, and started the stream with my fake beard and my Gators hat on and stuff. And then I thought, oh, I hope Walter doesn't get upset about that. Yeah, I haven't used any of the Amazon Basics filament at all, and I've told the story, but. The reason why is because there's so many small filament companies out there that I think deserve my money more than Amazon. So, and I know, I've heard rumors on a couple different people that are making it for Amazon, but regardless, I would rather give my money to the smaller filament company. So, Alien Josh is in the house. Hello, Alien Josh. Tonight would have been a good night for you to come over, but I didn't know I was doing this. Yeah, I've printed some of the 3D Fuel stuff out of the maker boxes, but yeah, they had come and talked to me at Murph, and so again, smaller company, made in the USA. I like it. I have not, Josh. I have not tried that yellow yet. Glenn, do you know any filament companies that do donations or discounts for libraries for the STEM programs? Actually, just about all of them will offer something if you reach out to them. I say just about all of them, but I know that I had gotten some donated from AIO Robotics, but all you can do is ask. The worst they do is say no. So, hey, Joshy, we all live in a yellow submarine. Oh, that'd be too many people. Where's Waldo? Where's Walto? I have only used a roll of real filament, Dutch brand, and their yellow PLA is almost the original Lego yellow color. That's been a strive of mine, Patrick, was to find. Well, in fact, that's a good point. The yellow on my toilet paper holder, that is IC3D's yellow PLA. So, and it's actually pretty close. I held it up to an actual Lego head, and it was pretty close to Lego color. So, Walter tested the Stargate, and something went wrong. Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of faith in him getting that thing put together. Robert Reynolds says, I can't believe it's been a year since you did that stream. It seems not that long ago. Time flies. Yeah, and there's been so many videos in between there that it's all just kind of a blur. I was joking, Amazon Basics yellow is junk. Well, it's funny because I've heard mixed reviews on Amazon Basics filament. Like, some people swear by it and say it's great and that it's made by eSun, whatever. I've also heard it's made by other people. Now I can't remember who. who it is that's supposedly making it for him, but I'm thinking that chances are they're pulling it out of somewhere out of China, but and then other people say that it is complete and utter garbage. But again, I love Amazon, and then sometimes I hate Amazon, but I would rather give my money to the more mom and pop type shop than giving it to Amazon if that's an option. So after I get the UFOs out, I'm heading your way. Gonna bring your wifey something. Tighter timeline on that? Like, I mean, are the UFOs going out like in the next 10 minutes or on Friday? You know. I mean, you're welcome to come anytime. I'm just, you know. We have 3 libraries here that do big STEM programs and a lot of 3D printing, and their budget keeps getting cut and cut and cut. I'm going in this weekend to service all of their printers. Well, Sean, email me, Glenn, G-L-E-N-N, at funking3d.com. Send me the information for the library, and I'll see what I can wrangle up. I can't make any promises, but, you know, I am a huge, you know, a huge celebrity. But no, I'll see what I can. I mean, you know, even if I can get them just a couple of rolls or whatever. So, also something that might pan out is Rhino Reel. I be able to put them in contact with the owner of Rhino Reel, and then they can get a monthly subscription. So those filaments coming in regularly, and maybe we can get them a discount through that. So. Again, no promises, but I'm just trying to think of the people that I know. Did you see that Fiber Force has a line of Pantone certified filaments? I don't think I know who Fiber Force is. I'm going to jot that down. I make notes and then I ignore them for months, and then I go back and find them. I'm like, oh, what was this? Hey everyone, welcome to Kuntry 3D. Today we're going to talk about everything we need to print. We're not actually going to print them. Well, you don't always have to print stuff when you're talking about it. Plus, most of the stuff that I'm printing right now is for the Xander Sing Thursday segments, and I don't want anybody to see it ahead of time, so I can't print while I'm streaming, or I have to put something in front of the printer so that nobody can see what it is. Speaking of STEM, anyone in the Philly area needs to check out the latest Printed Solid newsletter. There's a robotic STEM convention at the Oaks, August 24th and 25th. That's exciting. Yeah, I've heard of that Printed Solid company. They're kind of decent, aren't they? Yeah, anybody that's in the U.S. that's not buying from Printed Solid, you're doing yourself an injustice. Did I say that right? If you're not buying from Printed Solid, you are doing yourself an injustice. Just the fact that they include candy with every order. Shane said, my donation sent but never popped up. Okay, so if you donated to Walter's channel, I don't think he has that popping up. If you donated to my channel, being that I'm on Walter's channel, I don't think it'll pop up. I have to figure out if I'm looking at the live one. Yeah, I'm looking at the live one. Yeah, I think the ones that are up in the corner, up in the corner, would that be the right way? Yeah. The ones that show up here are for super chats, which if you super chat through here, the money's going to Walter. Because I am on Walter's channel, so if you made a donation to Walter, I'm sure he appreciates it. Ron Julian said, I made the mistake of buying a roll and keeping it too long to send it back. I think that's what they plan on. The UFOs go out when the UFOs go out. Carl, who's the who for? Who? Matter Hackers is selling it. Okay. Awesome. That's a good bunch over there too. They haven't been as active in the community lately. They've kind of disappeared from the community. And in fact, my wife had made a comment at Murph that they seemed a little bit not standoffish, but like not as engaged either. So, and I know that they've kind of started to target, you know, businesses and stuff, but nobody puts the UFOs on a schedule in the corner. Pricey though. Yeah, but if you need a specific color, that's that'd be worth it. Printed Solid is my favorite US shop. Okay, so being that you threw the US in there, what shop is like, what's your favorite shop? If you know, we're going worldwide. Especially if you aren't using my, no, I use my own affiliate link, not yours. And everybody else uses mine and not yours. When are we going to order candy and get a roll of filament? Well, you can order candy from Printed Solid, and it comes with whatever it is that you put in your cart. Mr. Buttram's in the house. No, I don't look like Walter. God, I'd jump off a cliff if I looked like Walter. Nobody wants to be that old. Oh, the who was from when you were calling yourself a celebrity. Well, I am internationally known. Oh, we just had a power flux. Little dip there. Whew. Make sure everything is still on. Test. Yeah, I still have audio. All right. I think that's the first time I've had a power drop like that during a live stream. All right, so well, they made it clear at Murph that I'm not liked. Snubbed me the entire weekend. Did they really, Carl? Well, I'm biased. So you're saying like Prusa's shop is your favorite shop? They don't have enough stuff. Matter Hacker seems to have pulled back since their support of Joel ended. Well, I really think that they've kind of changed direction. I think that they're going more after businesses and not so much the community. But I mean, they're good people. I mean, Dave and Mara, I love both of them, but it's just kind of sad that they're not so active in the community. I was only out for just a quick blip there, Shane. Of course, if the power goes out, I will be able to continue to stream, except for we will be in almost complete darkness. I will have to get a flashlight and, you know, do the whole... Oh, not that way. Here. Oh. I'm a leprechaun. Internationally known, you mean like by a few people in Canada? No, pretty much somebody on every continent that somebody can live on. I mean, it might only be one person in each one, but power glitch enhances the Walter simulation. I know Matt has sent out maker boxes with an order of gummy bears and a complimentary filament samples. That's right. No, we're only going to do this for about 4 more minutes. Mike and I would watch them walk down the aisle and get 10 feet from our booth and then literally look away till they were past us. Huh. Well, I know that there's always been a, like a rivalry between them and Printed Solid, but I don't know. It's just a shame. I mean, the community's big enough for all of us to get along, but they were the cool kids of Murph. Well, I mean, they always made a good presence, like they always had the big booth set up and, whatever. And like, I mean, when I seen them, they were nice to me, but it just doesn't seem like they're as active anymore. So when does the giveaway of Walter's stuff start? Well, I can't really give away Walter's stuff because I'm not at Walter's house. Now, if I was at Walter's house, that would be different. But I don't have his stuff to give away. And I don't have access to any of his other accounts and stuff, but community will make or break you. Yeah, but if you're targeting businesses, like they may have already, because I mean they're selling like high-end printers and stuff, so like they might have just moved into a completely different clientele where, not that they don't need the community, but I mean I don't think that they've done as many of those Matter Hacker meetups that they used to do. Like everything is kind of, yeah. And I mean I don't know the background story on why they decided not to continue to support Joel, but that was kind of a sad moment. But any company that keeps the community at their central focus will thrive. Those that don't probably won't. That's very true. I mean, it's very easy to slip into nothingness by not supporting the community. Patrick says it's almost 2 a.m. in the Netherlands, so pushing my bedtime. Oh, I understand. I mean, it's pushing 8 p.m. here. It's almost my bedtime. Maybe they were distracted by the Fill-A-Dry booth. Oh yeah, I'm trying to figure out that magic. The magic of the Fill-A-Dry. Yeah, apparently if you're a Printed Solid loyalist, that makes you unwelcome. Funny thing is, I still get Matter Hackers emails, still trying to remember what I ever bought from them. Yeah, I don't know. Like they were always the first one that people would reach out to for giveaway stuff. They were always quick to support the community that way, and now like they're not really the sponsor of anything anymore. So, and maybe that's why they seem standoffish to me too, because we're Printed Solid sponsored part of the FK1 and their name is on my banner. Maybe that, because they didn't come to my booth at all at Murph. So hopefully I'm just reading into something that isn't really there. But I think Matter Hackers realize that the maker community is too budget conscious for that. That's possible, because their stuff is all like really high end and expensive. And I know this, I order UFO boxes because I see Josh in the community participating and interacting, or order from TH3D because I see those guys all over the community. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and I fear for IC3D too, because ever since Sean left IC3D and went over to Pure Poly, I think I've only seen one tweet from IC3D, and that's not good. I mean, I know that that's not their core business, but it's not good. They need to stay active with the community. So, thank you, John Strand, for being here. Carl, I don't think I ever ran into Matt anywhere. Which Matt? Matt, formerly of Printed Solid? Costs money to ship that couch everywhere. No, they don't. They go buy a new one every year, and then they donate it. I forget who they gave it to last year. I didn't hear this year, but they give it to somebody every year. They just go buy it at Walmart every year. Oh yeah, you got to come to Earth, Sean. Oh yeah, Sean at formerly of IC3D. Yeah, he was totally their presence. So it takes a certain cut of person to be able to do that job. You know, to be able to post and be active in the community that way. So, I mean, like, I'm active in the 3D printing community. My work has talked about getting more active in social media, and I immediately said, not it. I don't want that job. So, oh, there's Tom Llama. Finally, God, I mentioned you like 2 hours ago. I thought I would summon you a lot quicker than this. Yeah, well, I hope that Sean does as well for Peel Poly as he did for IC3D, and I hope that IC3D makes arrangements to become more active. So, and a lot of booze. Companies like me, the community is my backbone. Well, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, what a wonderful source of advertising. You know, when you can absolutely put your finger on the pulse of the community. So, I was talking about Taserface. I said I found the perfect color for it inside a cardboard box and on its way to you. Taserface. All right, guys. Well, it is now after 8 p.m. I didn't really have the 2 hours to do this, but I did it anyway. And in fact, I told Walter I was only going to go for an hour. And yet we spent 2 hours talking about absolutely nothing, and I loved every minute of it. So this is the point where I have to say to you, and I doubt there's any of you out there, but if you're not already subscribed to Walter, there is a subscribe button right down there. I think I got that the right way. And he would love to have you subscribe. A thumbs up is appreciated, not for him, but for me. I love the fact that 29 of you hit that thumbs up and no thumbs down yet. That helps my ego tremendously, and I always need to pad my ego. It's huge, and I have to feed it, you know. The only reason I do YouTube is because I got such a big ego, and I love being the center of attention. I'm so extroverted. I hope to see a lot of you, if not all of you, at Earth this year. That will be exciting. I will have a MakerBox video out this week on my channel. And if nothing else, of course, there is Fun in the Country Basement on Sunday, which I believe I am hosting this week. I need to get that link set up, so you will be joining me on my channel. I don't know what Walter's got coming out. I know he streams all the time. I don't watch his content, so I don't really know what he talks about, because it's always the same stuff, like I haven't finished that and I haven't finished that. No, kidding. I like Walter. Walter's a good guy. So I think that's all I got. Don't forget to check out Xander's YouTube channel, which is Peg Leg Paul. A huge thanks to the 157 people who have already subscribed to him. We have not been able to secure his name because you also have to have 30 days of account existence to register a name, and he hit his 100 mark in like 2 days. So now we have to sit around and wait and wait and wait, and then we'll secure his channel name. But yeah, I think that's all I got for you. Thanks for letting me be here with you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. As I say at the end of every FKB stream, these streams would be senseless without you guys watching, because otherwise it would just like be me sitting over there talking to myself like I normally do. And so I think that's all I got for you. Thanks again. Love each and every one of you. And I don't know how Walter signs out, but you know, as always, print on.